Hello, we're live with the Roach Wiggle, November 10th, 2022. Hello, everybody. Chris, Martin, Tennyson. Get some good folks here already. Oh, wow, early in the morning for Martin. Yeah, probably more people will pop up, considering I literally just made this. I apparently had forgotten to do it this week, so I did just do it, push it through live instead of having one waiting in the queue. So we'll go over the last 7 days, I suppose. Was gone for the weekend. As I had said, I was going to the to Yomikan to unwind, as some may call it, and had a wonderful time. Very tiring. Lots of good memories. Very tiring. Got back and hit the ground running this week. Was it Monday that the next noteworthy thing happened? Week's been getting out smaller standard orders. Packing this week has been packing Junior's order has been the thing, and I don't know if he's obvious. I don't think he's here right now, but it is taking quite a while. So, Chris, I can only imagine when I get to yours next week what sort of debauchery it's going to cause me. But probably looking like Juniors may not even go out until Monday, but or maybe even Saturday. No, not Saturday. I have Expo this weekend. That's another thing I forgot about. It's going to be my time tomorrow. Is going to be doing solo isopod maintenance for the first time in 6 weeks, and getting ready for the Expo Saturday, and then Sunday. What am I doing Sunday? Probably doing more bug stuff Sunday as we get through this last batch of good weather. It was 75 today, and I did a few hours of packing Junior stuff, and then I went outside and had to get everything ready for winter because this is today and tomorrow, I guess, but mostly today. The last good day of the year, 2-hour knowledge, as I keep saying, and then we keep having warm spells, but really, it's been so warm and dry, very dry. I'll touch on that in a moment on how dry it's been. But anyway, so that means I will be switching over to very soon insulation and heat packs. The temperatures right now are very similar to the temperatures in February when I start feeling comfortable shipping without all the heavy winter gear. So I will keep prolonging the swan song of shipping without heavy gear as long as possible. But if Michigan has too many days where it gets, we're already going to be getting some below freezing very soon. Saturday, we're going to get hit hard with below freezing. It's going to be quite a whirlwind to go from 75 all the way down to like 28. That's how it is. The rains, they are coming. Oh, hey, Junior. I had said some things before how I've been packing. I've been packing your order, and it's been a doozy, and it probably will not go out until Monday. Would have gone out Saturday if I didn't have an expo to get ready for on Friday, but I will be trying to get Chris's order out then as well next week. So all of that will be done before my little mini staycation. Friday the 18th through Sunday the 20th, where I plan to stay home and have some friends over and drink for several days, basically, because I kind of need that after the last month, which has been again a good month, but I am gonna need to. I need to unbug wire the brain for a little bit to be able to continue putting my all into the bugs. I have to diffuse from it for a bit. So other than that, going through this week. So again, it's been very warm, very dry. It's been excellent shipping weather. And I believe it was Tuesday night. Maybe it was. I can actually get an actual date for this. I'll look at my phone call records. It was Monday night. Wow, it's already Thursday. Oh my God. Monday night, I had finished up doing stuff and I was laying on the couch in the living room. This is about like 11 o'clock at night or something like that. And I get up to go look outside, or just to go into the kitchen, and the yard's all dark, and it's like a half an acre, so all the way back it's like all the woods and stuff. And there's fire in my backyard. And I just, for a second, because people will have fires, and this is and this very specific, this same thing has happened several times in the last 6 months, where I've gone outside and saw what I perceived to be my yard ablaze, and looked more closely and saw, oh, it's like one of the neighbors behind me having a bonfire. And because there's also it's kind of weird between like the houses on this side and the houses behind us that back up to these properties, there's like an elevation drop. So like there's like basically this is on like a hill here. So if you go on the other side of the street, it drops. It's maybe like, I don't know, I think looking into some people's backyards, it's as big as like 7 feet. I think, but behind me here, it's only like 3-4 feet. So anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, it's just the neighbor behind me having a bonfire. But then I look like a little more closely, and the fire is all the way across the back of my yard. And I run outside, I keep Victor inside, and I go out to see like what's going on. And the neighbor behind me must have been having a bonfire, burning leaves or whatever. And it's been so dry and the ground is just covered in oak leaves that the fire jumped and went into my yard. And so about 10 feet in from the fence, there was a roaring wildfire headed into my yard through my forest, which is of course just made of kindling, but not just that, but also where DTE the power company has come through and cut down and left all kinds of big, huge logs and wood and branches and everything. It was right along where they have been doing all their work since like April or whatever. So there's a lot of fuel back there. So I run out and I try to get my hose, and my hose had like the connection thingy, whatever, it had like a crack in it or something. And this is something that I was like, I had just bought the stuff to fix it on Amazon like yesterday, and it hadn't come in yet. And so here I'm like dead in the water, I guess dead in the fire, without a like functional hose, because it's like if I turn on the water, it just gushed out the side. I couldn't get any sort of a directed stream on it. And neighbors a couple houses down ran out and were like, screaming like they got it under control there, and they're like, I don't know. So they threw a hose to me over the fence, and I hooked it up, and I could get no water pressure, so that was bad. So I planned for the worst. I called all the other neighbors and was like, hey, there's a fire. It could head all the way back through, all along the fence line, all the way into your yards, and who knows where else it would go. So I raised that, and fortunately, the fire department, I called 911. I was like, it's not my house. It's the house behind me. Technically, 911 fire department was out, and they put it out. They were out there for about an hour, hosing all everything that was on fire. And then that was the fanfare for the night, was the yard catching on fire. If the fire department had not gotten there wasn't a lot of wind, so the fire probably would not have jumped or moved terribly quickly. But if it had gone unchecked for another 20-30 minutes, probably the whole backwoods that connects through all of the yards on this side of the block would have gone up in flames. The oak trees and stuff would have been fine, but it's everything else. People have sheds and parked cars and all kinds of other fun stuff back there. So that was my Monday night. Not very fun. So yeah, so I'm assuming the guy behind me, I've looked back and seen that he's had bonfires. It's fine. But like when I have a bonfire, and I usually throw all the old shipping boxes and stuff that I receive, I just throw them in the fire pit because I use all the ashes for stuff. But I always have the hose ready and within like thorough soaking distance. And it's like we have not had rain for like weeks at this point. Like we have not had substantial rain, possibly in months, and we have not had rain period in weeks. I think we got like an hour or two of light rain a couple of like weeks ago, but like it's just been so dry, it's crazy. So yeah, that was my Monday night. And then yesterday, driving home from my parents, I just the same route that I've driven for my entire life, or have the same road, and Telegraph Road. As I'm watching little waves in my yard. Yeah, so I've driven the same road, Telegraph Road, Ford Road, less so Ford Road nowadays, but Telegraph Road is like one of the big main non-freeway roads here. And I've driven it all my life, and I'm driving to go from my parents' house back to here at, I don't know, it was like 9 o'clock yesterday night. And this person in front of me, maybe like 300 feet, and there's other cars around, is driving bare axle on the road. Like there is a puddle of sparks and molten material that is going like 6 feet off the back of his axle, and he's just driving in the middle lane for at least 3 miles. And I'm just like, what do I do? Like I could go another route. There's not really ample bare ass naked. So like, no, he could have been naked. Well, that's the other thing was, the guy's driving bare axle. Is he like all there? Is he like, I'm still getting over that bare ass. He could have been. And driving for miles, and there's like people like swerving around him. Like there's enough people on the road that that like everybody's like looking at this person, but like not enough that it's crowded where things could spin out of, like, it's not like he was going to, like, cars were not bumper to bumper. He was not going to spin into somebody else and cause like a pile up or something like that. But there was enough people that it's like you could take action to get around him. But like everybody's definitely looking at this person like, what are you doing? And I never do this. I pulled out my phone to record because it's like, this is insane. And so again, hello, the Beetle guy. I'm actually having a non-entomological related chat for a second before we dive into the entomological chat subject of the Kickstarter, which we will be doing, which was the purpose of this live stream, or was going to be the focus of this live stream, actually, was navigating the Kickstarter that I eyeballed last week and then just said, nope, I don't have anything to do this. Hello, Brett. Good to see you too. And Jojo Macro. Anyways, so this person driving bare axle in the middle lane, and at some point there's a large bridge that goes over the actual freeway that you can get onto from Telegraph Road. I think it's I-96. And I'm looking at this person, and I'm in like the far left lane, and I'm like staying as far back as I possibly can. At this point there's not too many other people on the road, even though it's a very popular road. And it was maybe like 10 seconds after I finished filming, And the guy just all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, if the axle like fell off or something, but the guy just the sparks stopped and the guy just swerved uncontrollably and then went like straight into one of the concrete barriers along the side of the road. And there was a small explosion from Lord knows where. I don't know if small and explosion should go together in the same sentence, but a small explosion. Altered pants, hello. And so there were like 3 other people around him. They all like stopped, and I just sort of thought, I don't know what type of person is driving their bare axle car and trying to go over this bridge and whatnot, and how will this affect the roach populations. And so I along with one other person, because most of the people were most of the other cars were in front of me that had stopped or that he had almost swerved into. And on this side of the road, which is one way, I did a U-turn so that I could avoid going over the bridge to go under the bridge and then get on the freeway. So yeah, basically just get rid of a tire on the car. Get rid of the right rear tire on this car. And this is how this person was driving for like 2 miles, going 50 miles per hour basically the whole time. And again, I don't know what, somebody could run out and they could have a gun or something. And like, I was like, I don't have it in me. I'm not dealing with this. And so I did my U-turn. I got out. I got the hell out of Dodge. And then I think when I got on the freeway, somebody else, somebody like some small sports car type thing, drag racing car, I was trying to get from the second from right lane. This is right after this car axle thing happened. Like I had my turn signal. I was a good little boy. I had my turn signal on. I was getting ready to merge, and this guy just comes flying at like 90 miles per hour in the right lane. And I was like, stop and like swerve back into my lane. So I was just like, okay, something is in the drinking water today. I'm not dealing with this. So yeah, that's that. I was so glad to get home. I had Victor in the car with me too, and so like every time I had to respond to whatever was going around me, I had to like console him so that he wouldn't, like when I had to swerve so that he wouldn't flop over in the back of the car. So yeah, well, yesterday's drive was not a pleasant drive. So, and I have made that drive thousands of times in my life, probably even more than thousands, maybe like tens of thousands, maybe at this point, maybe. And so this is some of the craziest that I have ever encountered, and of course, all at the same time. When it rains, it pours, except for when it doesn't rain for weeks. So, so that's been my week, my 7 days. Hopefully next week 7 days will be more peaceful, more tranquil, less crazy things happening around me that I'm forced to react to. Although again, my weekend was good. So anyways, so this is the part where we get into the Kickstarter. We had discussed this. And when I say we, I mean, of course, I'm at the mercy of the chat, the suggestions for what is good and what is not the best idea. So the goal of the Kickstarter project is so that I can afford to take a week off of hardcore of, as Alan would say, you sell bug now, to actually go back through and revise, add to, etc. the cockroach husbandry care guide that's on Roach Crossing. And I'm thinking maybe if I even meet the goal, I may do an isopod one, which is one that I've been wanting to do for years. And of course, like it's kind of even more difficult than updating this guide, because I have to start from scratch. And of course, I can look at the cockroach care guide and be like, okay, well, I have a supplies section and a this section. but it's not working off of the same framework. Like with this, I'm going to go through and edit things and add new sections and update outdated information and all that fun stuff. So but yeah, so maybe that'll be like, oh, we hit the goal, and then I have more time than I thought I'd have. Here, we'll go through and do this. So, I forgot one last thing. One other thing. It counts in the last 7 days because it just happened. From 8 a.m. to, and I was going to complain about this on the live stream. I was going to complain while it was happening. From 8 a.m. until about pretty much to the live stream, maybe to like 6:45. From 8 a.m. to 6:45, one of my neighbors seems like they're having every single tree in their yard professionally removed. I think maybe they have gotten tired of blowing or raking their leaves because, these trees, they make all these leaves. What are we going to do with these leaves that the trees make? We can't just leave them on the ground. That's unholy. That's unnatural. We got to get rid of them. So, and of course, the counter argument to that is, well, if you have the leaves on the ground, then you have the fire issue. But most of the time, you don't have the fire issue because there's actual rain or properly managed areas, whatever. He's a very nice guy. He's a wonderful guy. I have no idea why he decided to do this or even what's happening. Maybe a tree fell on his power line and he's like, yeah, screw this. I'm tired of these white mulberry trees falling on my power line every 8 months or clogging my drains or something like that. It could be something completely reasonable. But regardless, the tree company was out working from 8 in the morning until 6:45 with the full ensemble of equipment. And it's bad when my boomer neighbor next door, who was on my case about, oh, you should get those trees. Oh, when you gonna get this tree taken? That tree that's hanging over, like it's on your house, but it's like also hanging over my garage. Where are you getting that taken down? It's pretty bad when he gets out and, you guys been at this all day. When you guys gonna stop it? So that's been the background music to the last good day of the last habitable climatologically sound day of 2022 was heavy machinery grinding up trees and all that stuff. So one of my neighbors cut off all the lower branches of his blue spruce and piled mulch 1 to 2 feet up the trunk of the tree. Victor is really going at something. There were there's the deer in the neighborhood are in rut. So there were, I think it was 2 bucks in my neighbor's yard earlier. So I'm wondering if maybe Victor's staring at one of those, but he's still going at something. I'll give him 7 more minutes, and if he keeps barking, I'll go out and pull him in the house. Yeah, the mulch piles. The first 3 years that I lived in this neighborhood, nothing changed pretty much. And then after the new houses went up down the street, all of a sudden everybody's like, man, I hate trees. Man, I hate trees so much. Because like now it feels like every couple of weeks there's another somebody's front yard tree, like big trees too, has been taken out, has been ixnayed. And of course I've had my share of, I had a couple of trees off the side of the house, which is fine. I actually didn't take down all the stumps and whatnot. And it's just somebody planted a blue spruce that was like on the foundation. Somebody let a mulberry that was on the foundation, or somebody let a elm that was on the foundation grow. And so I just had them, take off the tops. And by tops, I mean like the top 70 to 80% of the tree. But then the funny thing is people don't buy the stump grinding. So they think when they have the tree removed that it's just going to be like perfect right away. I don't know. And then then it's usually like a couple of like months later, they have the stump crew back out to like grind it and pull it out or whatever. Or I saw somebody out down the street who was manually cutting out the roots and like pulling them up. Yeah, so it's again a lot of just stuff going on. Honestly, I'm kind of tired of it. It's not that this isn't a quiet neighborhood. It is still relatively quiet, but I'm kind of over stuff constantly happening around me. I would like to go somewhere where this style of stuff does not happen but once in a blue moon. So we'll see. We'll get there eventually. But anyways, for now, piece of that puzzle is the the leaf blower. I had to use the leaf blower on my patio area for maybe 3 minutes total today, and the whole time I felt like I was committing the hugest sin. Not just the noise, but like I don't know. It's like I could be like using my push broom to do this or my like leaf rake, but there was so many. My neighbor Scott's big Norway fir tree has been. This has been a big year for it to apparently drop needles and refresh needles. So for some reason, there's so many fir needles all over the place, and I didn't have the patience, so hooked it up to the electrical outlet and blew everything away for 3 minutes, and that was it. That was my catharsis. So, but yeah, the constant noise, it really gets to me so much, especially with the every leaf off of the everywhere. The beetle guy, I have a beautiful, huge tulip tree in front of my house, and I love it. I never cut it down. My neighborhood is pretty old, so there are some very old trees. I feel like if you have a big, sturdy oak tree with a straight trunk, there's pretty much no reason on the planet that you should remove it. Like the chances of it, like the benefits of that tree being in your immediate vicinity are probably what am I trying to say here? The risk of that tree to human health or to the health of like your house and foundation and stuff like that are probably vastly outweighed by the benefits of having that tree around in the form of like stress management, less likely to have a heart attack, the billion little tiny things that add up. So anyways, and yes, Chain, it was an armillaria, that's oak wilt, right? That's been honey fungus. Oh, never mind. Interesting. White rot root disease. Very interesting. Didn't know that they could sort of. Oh, I've seen some mycelium cords that look like that in wood when I've been out looking around for stuff. Interesting. Yeah, here it's oak wilt. The red and white oaks, I think, are getting hit very hard by oak wilt. And fortunately, my yard is mostly black or Shumard's oak, so it's pretty. Other than the fact that a lot of the trees are leaning or very small or like have very poor shape and composition, I guess. I'm sitting pretty right now. Older neighborhoods, American beech trees plant. Yeah, that's pretty old if they were planting beech trees. Tesla says my mom's house has been around since the 50s. We have a giant pine tree in our yard to trim practically yearly. Biggest tree I've ever seen in a yard. Yeah, there's a huge oak tree in the hello Keaton. It's a huge oak tree in my backyard in the dead center of it. It's kind of like, honestly, I couldn't imagine the yard without that tree. It's got perfectly straight trunk diameter. Breast height is probably 4.5 feet. So thing's got to be easily over 100 years old. Maybe could be 200. Thing's really beautiful. I want to take some acorns from it when I move and plant its descendants. And some eggs. Red mulberries are very difficult trees to find with respect to getting like stock. I'm in contact with a nursery in New York, and basically they hybridize so readily with white mulberries that even if there's a high chance that you get hybrid stock. And there's apparently a person who's devoted substantial time and space and money to propagating pure red mulberries. And I think he may even have like big screened enclosures or something for the trees so that he can control the pollen flow or something like that. So if you get mulberries, if you get red mulberry seeds, there's a good chance, because of how common white mulberries and the hybrids are, that you're going to get hybrid seeds. This whoever this guy is, and I told the nursery, like, hey, when he starts making stock available, I really want to get in on that, because that's definitely something. I mean, even if you can at least prove that the stock that you're getting is pure, you can at least tilt the odds of having pure red mulberries in your local population. With me, where I want to start with scorched earth somewhere, some old farm somewhere, that's pretty good thoughts to have. Anyway, so today, before our lovely tree conversation, discussing the Kickstarter, and we're going to try and navigate this together, which again, Quakers Crossing, I like that chain. We're gonna start this project, and we're gonna try and do it. And Victor is barking, and he is past his time. So anybody here, if you want to write into the chat any tips or anything that that I should know for jumping into Kickstarter here. We're going to be picking categories and subcategories or whatever, and then I guess I have to actually outline the project and stuff like that. So I will be right back. Enjoy the chair stream. It is legendary. All right, Kickstarter. Get it kick-started. Chair crossing. Yes, this is a very nice chair. I may actually eventually upgrade to a different type of chair, because it's is not particularly the best for my standard sitting style, but I have dealt with it. But the auction has made me realize I could use a bit more horizontal space. Okay, so Select a primary category and subcategory for your new project. Art, comics, crafts, dance, design, fashion, film and video, food, games, journalism, music, photography, publishing, technology, theater. Wow. These are bugs. These are so unsuited for what I want to do here. Very unsuited. All right, we'll look for subcategory. 3D printing, apps, camera equipment, DIY electronics, fabrication tools, flight, gadgets, hardware, makers spaces, robots, software, sound, web, wearables, space exploration. There's none of these are good. None of these are what are any. These are so not tangential to what I need for this. All right, so we're not gonna select a select one more subcategory. There is no subcategory. This is not no. But we're sure Kickstarter was the we're sure Kickstarter was the way to go with this. All right, we're gonna just see how long. Well, I have an account made, so yes, that's the one that everybody requested. So I guess it's technology. It falls under technology. Because there wasn't. I'm gonna second guess myself. This is what happened last time. So I'm gonna go back and see if was just writing. No, there was no writing. It's not journalism. It's not film and video. So we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go with broad gesture technology. Okay, we already talked about the prohibited items. I'm not Kyle starting an OnlyFans. Hi, Michael Hare. Yeah, this is definitely a one-off type thing. So education is not an option. They flip a big ol' middle finger to the idea of education. Hello, Easy Grows It. You have arrived at you've arrived at the least Roach talkie of all the Roach Crossing live streams, wherein I'm trying to. We're working on a Kickstarter for a revised cockroach care guide. This is so that I can get a big gush of information out in this care guide because it will take me some substantial time to go through and add what I have learned in the 6 years since 6 years since updating, publishing the original Roach Crossings Cockroach Husbandry Guide. So, yes, one and done. That's under education then. Was there an I'm second guessing myself. If it was education, there would have been no. There's no education category. The categories are extremely limiting, and the only thing that sound publishing. Hello, Braden. Trying to figure out it's publishing. Nonfiction. Okay, I think I remember us talking about this before. Publishing nonfiction or academic. It's nonfiction, so I think I remember this. It's all coming back now, and I don't think category matters that much because this is probably not going to be oh my gosh, I hope that so many people on the internet find my Kickstarter in the publishing nonfiction category. I'm probably going to put it on the homepage of Roach Crossing and mention it in the live stream. So, but I don't know. It might alter something. I have no idea where this is going, which is why we're doing this today. Review the rules. All right, I'm not going to sell any GMO organisms. All right, we're in. We're in. Basics. Let's start with the basics. All right, there's so many things here. Project title. Write a clear, brief title and subtitle to help people quickly understand your project. Both will appear on your project and pre-launch pages. Potential backers will also see them if your project appears on category pages, result pages, search results, or in emails we send to our community. Title. Roach Crossings Cockroach Husbandry Guide. Update. Subtitle. Super saying. Having an argument about ectopids and bladdids. I'm always an article. Sit down, youngling. All right. So subtitle. Anybody? I'm not a collective of amazing storytelling radio shows. Let's remake public radio together. That's not what I'm doing. Fudge. 6 years in the making. Oh, this is so awful because like this is obviously geared to like you throw your project out there and you hope that the masses will take interest in it. But like I'm being so bland and like I can't really. This is a very concrete, very doable goal. I am not trying to change the world. I want to just have the time to write an update to this cockroach care guide. Cockroach husbandry guide update. 6 more years of experience. All right, we'll the working title. It's a working title. We gotta get through that. Project category. Choose a primary category and subcategory. So backers find your project. Okay, we did that already. Nonfiction. Project location. Enter the location that best describes where your project is based. Livonia, Michigan. Project image. We're just going to go with the Roach Crossing, this image that I use for literally everything right now, which is the little Aranavega florensis. All right, there it is. It's up there. No project video. Set an achievable goal that confers what you need to complete your project. Now here's the devil's in the details here. The devil is in the details because I need to be realistic with whatever goal that I'm going to set. I think last week I had said that $1,000 would probably work, and that should, because that basically that should work. But I'm going to see if that's realistic given the amount of time that I would like to take for it. So if I took the business week of December 12th off, 5 days, December 12th, 13th, 14th. You know what? Actually, a smarter decision would be don't take the week before Christmas off. Take the week before Christmas off, because then I won't have to have extra stress worrying about shipping boxes that week with the holiday delays and all that stuff. So probably take 5 days. That's probably enough to sustain me for that period of time, assuming I don't go crazy at Costco, which I will not. After a car, I need the Dynasties, Tidius, and Grantii. So I think that's reasonable, and I think they allow you to have other additional goals. So maybe I would up a little bit more for the isopod one to be done as well. That could both happen. That'd be nice. Target launch date will provide you with a recommendation on when to complete steps that may take a few days to process. You can edit this date up until the moment you launch your project, which must always be done manually. Anybody know what this means exactly? Because like set time limit for your campaign, you won't be able to change this time. So I guess the launch date would be that December 19th. And then yeah, that's the day that I would do it. I'm gonna have to add these details in here somewhere. I know that. Campaign duration. Set a time limit for your campaign. You won't be able to change this after you launch. So we could. It should probably. I could end it like at time would it be 11:59 on the day before that I'm supposed to target launch date. All right, we're gonna go with it. All right, next rewards. Okay, reward tiers. Most creators offer 3 to 10 reward tiers, which can be physical items or special experiences. You hear that, everybody? I can offer you. I can offer you experiences, actually. That would be interesting. Special experiences, not just any experiences. Set reasonable backer expectations. Add-ons, optional rewards backers can add to their pledges. Okay, and items. Reward tiers. Let's see. What should we do here for names and whatnot? Be Germanica released in your house free of charge. Not sure if that'll be a popular one. Will your backers receive any physical goods? No. We had talked about Roach's, but again, I think that violates no. It was no GMO organ. Maybe it was no animals and no GMO plants was the thing. Digital reward, no shipping. Estimated delivery. We'll just go with January 2023. Project quantity. Limit the amount available to all backers. If mass production or shipping is impractical, you can only increase the set amount. Unlimited. Time limit. Garner excitement about limited editions or special offerings. No limit. Okay. So reward tiers. Interesting. This is not a monetized channel from Queen Iridocyclitis. I'm pretty sure you just need to select that little green check mark too. I think to monetize, I have to have a certain number of subscribers, and I'm not there yet. I can't remember how many it was, though. Offer like signed copies. You don't need to go crazy. Yes. I guess I could do that. Consider making it into a physical form with pictures. How long is it going to be? It's 14 pages currently. Probably, I would not be surprised if it ended up getting to 20 pages. But I also could just see if I end up taking out a lot of old, outdated information and adding new stuff that it may only bump it up a couple of pages. So I suppose a physical copy for the life of love of cockroaches. I suppose I could do a digital reward, no shipping. Physical copies that complicate this so much. I have to print physical copies from my computer, my printer, which likes to misbehave sometimes. And even after I clean the printer head incessantly, it's still. I want to get pubic lice. I asked Kyle, and he can't get any. What a shite friend. Oh boy. Yeah, again, I could do a physical copy, but again, it seems kind of silly because I can just literally anybody can just print it out. There's nothing in here that's particularly of more value if it's in full color. There's a handful of pictures. I will likely add some more pictures, which would bump the page count quite a bit. Like that's like high school style, bumping page counts, adding pictures and figures. So I don't know. How about a 20-pound Roach figurine cast in solid gold? Maybe we'll put. I could put that for like the highest backing, I guess. If somebody wants to pay $1,000, I could. What is a realistic equivalent to a 20-pound Roach figurine cast in solid gold? There's gotta be some equivalent. Also, happy time change, everybody. I'm just now realizing the lights went off and it's earlier than they usually go off. All right, we're gonna give the lowest tier. The title for the lowest tier of support will be what's a good low tier of support? What lowly insect could we? There's a lot of talk about lice. I refuse to make pubic louse the lowest tier. You could be a bark louse. The lowest tier could be the bark louse, book louse tier for the amount of $1. Victor's doing the weird whining he does sometimes. I feel like he's being passive aggressive actually when he does. Sometimes he'll just be laying there and he'll go like, oh. He's doing it right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really cute. But I don't know what he's trying to convey because like as frequent attenders will know, if he really wants something, he will yip at me or make other noises unbecoming of a creature of his stature. But like today, he's been doing a lot of this weird like laying down, like staring at me and doing this like. So bark louse is the lowest tier. Is the name of the lowest tier. For $1, we'll just do $1. Somebody wants to donate $1, I'm more than happy. Description. Personal thank you. Personal thank you email. Say thank you for contributing and blah, 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 blah. All right, there's one. Next tier up, we'll go to what's above the bark louse. We have the Kai. We have the Kai Wang tier, just barely above bark louse, perhaps. It's weird that I'm trying to add. Okay, save reward. Oh my lord, I have to do each of these individually. Save reward. All right, we officially have the book louse tier for a $1 pledge amount. Then up from that, we have the some sort of isopod, maybe. Springtail would be really easy. I want to scale it up pretty abruptly. I think it'll go $1, $5, $20, $50, and $100. Not sure. So $1, and scale it up from there. The Darkling Beetle. All right, Beetle guy suggests the Darkling Beetle. Darkling Beetle. All right, $5. Personal thank you email. Can I look at the other things that I've already written? Perhaps? No, I can't. Personal thank you email. And this is just making me feel like I shouldn't have had the bark louse tier. I should have had this going right in with a 5, 20, 50, 100. Yeah, Brett, I agree with that one. I think I'm going to have some good ones for the top twoist tiers. No bugs are included with any tiers. Yeah, well, here's a nice thing though, JoJo, with this JoJo macro is, I can specifically put in that there are no physical goods. I'm trying to figure out what's better than a personal thank you email, and then something. What else? And I think at $20 I'll start. You get a acknowledgement in the thing, in the Roach Care Guide. Personal thank you email and thank you in blog post. There we go. So I'll do a blog post. Say thank you so much for these people, and these will obviously stack. So whoever wants to provide quite a bit of funding for this project, the book louse. Thank you email. All right, that's good. Save reward. And thank you in blog post. All right, that's good. That's good. So you get a little acknowledgement there. So now we jump to the next tier, which is the hissing cockroach. $20. Personal thank you email. Thank you in blog post. And thank you in Roach Care Guide. All right, now we're getting some traction here. I could do a physical reward with the biggest thing, I guess. I just don't know what. All right, so we got the book louse, the darkling beetle, the hissing cockroach. Let me take a second to read through stuff here. I will give you Alan's roach, wasp, and a beetle culture. Free specimen, Pargoletta. Gift card for the later tiers. You know, beetle guy, that's not a bad idea. No gift cards for sure doesn't fit. Apparently, for $100 tier. Rhino Roach. You know, if somebody wants to donate $500, then or more than that, I can't really imagine anybody. I would love to be surprised. That would be delightful that somebody has compensated for my existence so I can sit on my butt and write brain thinks about roaches on. The other thing is that for people who are here, you all know very well you are welcome to ask me anything at any given time about anything bug related here. So I figured that a lot of the regulars may or may not contribute, which is fine. I don't really care. I just would like to just do this and get it out there. Yes, Tennyson, you could probably use a red light. Oh, right now. Infrared heat bulb. Someone show this to Elon Musk. Pubic louse top tier. So you got the hissing cockroaches. That was next. Save reward. Save reward. Striped Sun Roach for the $50 tier. Personal thank you, email, thank you in blog post, thank you in Roach Care Guide. And where can you go from there? A t-shirt. That would be nice if I had more funds on hand to buy t-shirts in a billion different sizes to have available. Maybe one day. Just making the space for that. Just the thought of making the space for that stresses me out. Black and white printer ink. It's not cut into that too bad. What's something else? You know, I could go back through here and put shout out on Livestream. I got it. Phone call. Somebody wants a phone call. Which another thing that I usually give out for free, but also I'm very stingy with my time because if I'm not on the live stream, I'm usually busy doing one of a billion other things, and I really don't like having to talk and focus on other things. But a phone call, I guess, half an hour phone call, or just a phone call, leave it open-ended for a private one-on-one conversation over phone. There's this is getting more OnlyFans-y the further it goes, but that's okay, I guess. Now that kind of phone call. 1 hour of me heavy breathing. 1 hour of me encouraging a male hissing cockroach to hiss into the phone for you. I guess it's the cockroaches OnlyFans at that point. 1 hour of Victor baying, barking, and or howling into the phone, which is basically the live stream experience. So it's like a little adult hemithrosaurus just crawled across the enclosure there. So I guess there we go. And private phone call. How do I say? Okay, guys, how do I word this without making it weird? Private phone call sounds kind of weird. I want it to be not weird. Should I just put and a phone call? I feel like any adjective in front of the phone call makes it kind of weird, especially saying private phone call. And a one-on-one chat, a one-on-one chat, and a one-on-one chat with Kyle, with the owner of Roach Crossing, with the author. There it is. You get a one-on-one chat with the author. Beautiful. You get a one-on-one phone call with the author. There we are. Okay. There it is. All right, so that's your $50. That's your A tier. You get a personal thank you email, thank you in a blog post, a thank you in the Roach Care Guide, and a one-on-one chat with the author. Whoa, so exquisite. Let me go through and check all the other boxes. No, only digital goods, digital reward, month, day, year. If you somehow manage to get a bunch of people, or if a bunch of you are, imagine 50-hour phone calls. If you get a bunch of people to somehow do this or the higher tier, I can't really be mad, because it's money for me to sit on my butt and dump my brain into a Word document that will then be turned into a PDF. But I guess I can't be mad if you like, hey, just send this guy $50 for this like Roach project thing, and then you get to talk to him on the phone, and you can like absorb as much of his time as you can wring out of him. All right, so that's your A tier. Now we need the final one for the $100. Actually, that's a lot. I guess the book loss one, maybe I should increase it. Maybe I should bump all of these tiers up a thing, because like hello Ray Ewing. I'm kiss on the lips from Kai. Because also now that I'm thinking about it, the bark louse tier, or book louse, I'm gonna mess this up. At least it's not pubic louse. Oh boy, I could get a lot of $1 donations. Those will add up fast. So that's not difficult. I assume you have to provide your email to do stuff to Kickstarter, right? I assume. Otherwise, is the numbers, the exponentiality of the numbers could add up very quickly. I could find myself in a situation where I have to respond to several hundred emails. I just basically, I don't want to be caught with my pants down. Private tour of the Roach Crossing bug facility could be something for $1,000. Your private tailored tour. In its current state. You say roaches are popular in the pet hobby? Oh yeah, definitely. Well, in the pet bug hobby, in the pet hobby at large, still bugs are kind of fringe, because people are still sort of obsessed with their 8 different UV lamps and their beardies and their. I guess I won't even point the finger at beardies, because beardies are awesome, but like in your crested geckos, of which I have 2 begrudgingly. Do one of those fancy new YouTube split streams with someone during the wiggle, says Jojo Macro. Yeah, any thoughts? You guys think I might be shooting myself in the foot here with the whole dollar tier? Because I feel like I could be doing that. Again, with the not wanting to get caught with my pants down, it's more, well, if I said I was going to email them and then I find out that I don't actually have a way of emailing them, because I don't have that information, because it's not intrinsic to Kickstarter. Anyways, okay, I guess we'll just go on to the next one. The $250 or just scrap it. Okay, Shane, I can respect that. I'll go back and alter that. Maybe I'll just bump everything up a bit. $250. The Darkling Beetle will be $10. I feel like past that it's very reasonable. I feel like somewhere in this I was going to say that somebody gets early access. Early access and or opportunity to peer review. Beetle guy would bump it up to $5. Yeah, perhaps I will do that. All right. Next here is the rhinoceros. No, we won't go that far yet. What is another mighty cockroach? What is another one of my favorite? I mean, I could put ivory head roaches here. It's a little underwhelming when the hissing cockroach is already at $20. I will put a $500. No, maybe I shouldn't put a $500. Maybe I just cap it at $100. I think you can send more if you want. I think. I don't think it locks you into tiers. So we'll just do rhinoceros cockroach for the tallest tier for a $100 donation, which is personal thank you email. Thank you in a blog post. Thank you in the Roach Care Guide. A one-on-one chat with the author. Maybe I'll put that as the $100 reward, and the $50 reward will be what I am about to add, which is early access and or peer review of the Roach Care Guide, and a one-on-one chat with the author. Yeah, this feels pretty good. So speaking of the higher you make, the highest, the less the lower tiers look to people. This will make them want to donate more. It is all relative. This reminds me of something that Brandon told me about some comic artist. I think he sent me a couple of the guy's comics. They're very non sequitur. I can't remember exactly who it is. And I'm trying to actually. What the name of this comic artist guy is. Really excellent. Maybe it was Flork of Cows. Maybe. But there's something where he did a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or something for some character from his comics. And again, maybe I should have called this a not necessarily entomological chat today, but it was a character by the name of and if there are any children in the rooms, please close your eyes, your ears, your mouths, etc. The Ass Mage or something like that. And apparently he did a GoFundMe or something to make Ass Mage plushes, and like people just like piled on because everybody wanted an Ass Mage plush. And because of the way that this operates, whatever he was using to fund it, like there was a delay in the shipping, or the number of orders had to be filled before they would actually create the plushes or something. So like all the people were like directly contacting him, like, where's my ass mage plushie? Like, where is it? I paid for. When is it going to be here? And he like had a public, not a freak out, but just like a public. What's the word? It's not freak out. He just kind of lost it for a second and like put put like this post that if you just take it out of like, you just remove all the context around it, just becomes so much more hilarious. He just goes like, I don't know where your ass mage pledges are. Stop contacting me. Stop trying to call me, etc. and all this stuff. So yeah, Paraplaneta, the highest tier, the Paraplaneta tier. All right, so we've got, I'm going to review this so I don't screw anything up. Don't want anybody being in the wrong tier. So we have the first tier, the Book Louse tier, personal thank you email. For $5. The Darkling Beetle tier for $10. Personal thank you email and thank you in a blog post. We have the Hissing Cockroach tier, $20. Personal thank you email, thank you in blog post, and thank you in the Roach Care Guide. We have the Striped Sun Roach tier, $50. Personal thank you email, thank you in blog post, thank you in Roach Care Guide, and early access and or peer review of the Roach Care Guide. And then finally, we have the $100 tier, the Rhinoceros Cockroach, which is a personal thank you email, thank you in blog post, thank you in Roach Care Guide, early access and or peer review of the Roach Care Guide, and a one-on-one chat with the author. One-on-one phone chat. All right. Dare I add a 500? Dare I add a 500 Paraplaneta tier? I will do it. I will do an American Cockroach tier. I do love Paraplaneta a lot. It's I have to look at the article that I wrote for the old what you want to call it. I don't have them in this room anymore because I made room for more bugs. Was this American Cockroach Society special publication? I think I wrote in the article that everybody needs to keep Paraplaneta. I think I did that with Urikotis actually, but if I were to go back and revisit, I think you can't really call yourself a roach person unless you've kept Paraplaneta before. And actually, speaking of which, I got some Brunea from Alan. Got me some more adult and subadult Brunea, and they're doing fine. I think the key to Paraplaneta Brunea this may end up being the key to Neostylopiga rhombifolia, and maybe too was the key to the Durapeltis. Maybe again, my experience with Durapeltis is weird, fluctuating from like epic failure to like wondrous results. Right now, both the Durapeltis I have are doing fantastic. And I did not lose my Masai Maras over the winter. They rebounded from the nymphs that I had, and I have a bunch of them now. Where was I going with this? Oh, Paraplaneta Brunea just might like stupidly high humidity, like really extra stupidly high humidity, because I have them in a hexagon container with limited ventilation. There's some visible condensation, and they're doing quite well, and the ooths look all happy and well formed. Might explain why Auburn's colony was not doing so hot or just kind of piddles along, is because their humidity is really low, but they always have a wet wick waterer, which they could deposit ooths onto, or they could just hang out on. So I don't know, if I get a whole bunch of them, then I'll be like, yep, there's a smoking gun. Also, here's the actual roach discussion for you. I think it was Ray Ewing who was asking about actual roaches. And also taking a quick departure from the Kickstarter, the rest of my polycarbonate lids came in, so I got to run around and be the polycarbonate lid fairy. Paraplaneta japonica do not need a winter dormancy, actually. They're facultative diapausers. If you start to cool the group or the colony, they will shift into nymphs will shift into diapausing mode, and then they will need to be brought out of it. But if you keep propagating them over a certain temperature, they don't need a winter dormancy. So Paraplaneta that I have, several localities of Americana, Fuliginosa, Australacea, Japonica, and Brunea. And once upon a very long time ago, I once had another species of Paraplaneta from Southeast Asia, and they did very well for me initially, and they all died of this. I've talked about it a couple times on here. Alan's advisor, or whatever he is to you, Alan, Dr. Appel, told us about. There's some sort of yeast or fungal organism that affects roaches, and basically kind of causes them to like become ooze. They just kind of like, they become as oozy as something with a chitinized exoskeleton can become. But it's like basically the internal contents all become oozy. You go to pick them up and they just sort of melt. But the whole colony died from that. I feel like if I had them nowadays, I would have been able to work past that perhaps and actually get a generation out of them. But they came with no information. Oh boy, a spam bot. Oh goodness. We're going to just, what do I do? Report? Pornography or sexually explicit. I mean, they're just saying hot girls are waiting. There's nothing very like pornographic or explicit. Like, the hot girls could be waiting for bugs. Like, it just says they're waiting. So, but we're going to just remove that in real time. And hot girls are waiting here. Are there any hot girls in the Roach chat right now? No? Okay. So I guess that they are false advertising to people who are watching the stream, if they're saying that, I suppose. Unless there are any hot girls here, in which case you go right ahead and you speak up. But anyways, $500 Paraplaneta American cockroach tier. Yeah, we're gonna go with that again. I like Paraplaneta americana. They're nice roaches. Definitely, like, again with Blatella, I can't really see it for one. I can't really see how you'd have an issue with Blatella in the first place, like a colony infestation. Whoa, the lighting really got weird in here. Now that we don't have natural lighting, now that everything turns off an hour early, but I'm not going to do anything about it. Because I could reset all the time. I could reset all the timers and stuff like that, but I just doesn't matter what human society does. The roaches are fine staying on their schedule, and it doesn't cause me any extra grief if things go off perceivably an hour early. If anything, it'll keep me from staying on the computer later. Where's I going with all this? American roaches. Yeah, but American roaches, they can just be kind of a nuisance, basically, at their worst. So how do you contain your roaches? That's an excellent question, Ray, and it is already in the roach husbandry guide, but it is a combination of use of a barrier called the Roach No Crossing, which I received from Adam Nikias from Roach Town. Proprietary material that I don't know what it is. It is food safe. That is something that I know and has worked phenomenally for like the last year and a half, 2 years. And I will not use anything else until I find something that is better. And tight-fitting lids with muslin underlays or aluminum window screening underlays. A lot of different things that I use depending on the situation. But anyways, we're going to finish up the American Roach tier. You get a personal thank you, a thank you in the blog post, thank you in the Roach Care Guide, early access and or peer review of the Roach Care Guide. What else? What else can I offer somebody? I mean, a tour, I guess. They could come to tour. Free Paraplaneta. Now, here's the thing. I can't do live animals, and I can't do GMO plants. It's interesting like that. So I have to... it was to be 5 times better than the 100. I know it has to be 5 times better. I'm pretty fine with offering somebody the opportunity to come tour the Roach Crossing facility. But the thing there is I've got to make sure that and 20% off a purchase at Roach Crossing sounds kind of fair. A Gigas waitlist. Oh no, I can't. I can't. There's so many people I already have to turn away in contact for Gigas, and I sit here with my like one tank full of like the 12 that I held back already. I'm just like, FaceTime. I mean, people can see me on here, so I don't think that has the same value. But 20% off a 20% off of a purchase at roachcrossing.com. 20% off of a $100 gift, $100 credit to Roach Crossing. How do you guys feel about that? That feels like it's pretty good. You could basically get like a free order of pretty good stuff for $100. I don't know if it's worth dumping $500 into, but again, with these higher tiers, it's more the symbology of the action, and I'm anticipating it'll be from people who really want me to put that information out there. Ray on keeping Blatella, have an escape-proof enclosure, and be prepared. 45% off an order, I'd say, says the Paraplaneta missionary. I get difficult with ratios because if it gets too high, then they could do like a $2,000 order, and I mean, I guess it's not the worst for them to get like that much off, but like it also depends on what they get. If it's inventory of stuff that I produce, and it's more than reasonable because I usually have more than enough to spare and share. But it gets wonky on the financial end of things with if it's stuff that I did not produce, if it's just inventory like mantids or something else like that. Ray, if your neighborhood already has a roach issue, may not be the best idea. Documented knowledge is worth more than anyone can pay. No price is too high. I guess it's $100 credit to roachcrossing.com. Whoops. Just erased everything that I put down. Crud. G. Okay. So we're going to just save that. Go to here. Peer review. American Roach Tier. Here it is. $500 amount. Personal thank you email. Thank you in a blog post. Thank you in Roach Care Guide. Early access and or peer review of the Roach Care Guide. A one-on-one phone chat with the author. And a $100 credit to roachcrossing.com. All right. There it is. There's our tiers. Everybody. 45% off of feeder roaches. Yeah, this is, here's the thing is this is also kind of nice because instead of being a % off of an order, they just have $100 credit. So they could just order stuff and basically get a box for free because they have $100 credit. They can put that towards shipping or whatever. So I feel pretty comfortable with these now. And Paraplaneta missionary, you got your top tier is American Roach. So there it is. We somehow managed to split things up into. I mean, I guess we deviated very quickly from the random miscellaneous. Like, oh, we did book louse and we did darkland, and then we jumped right into cockroaches. But that's fine. That's how it is. Now the story, guys. This is so time consuming. I know I normally just be doing the live stream right now, but like still, this is very time consuming. Introduce your project. Tell people why they should be excited about your project. Get specific, but be clear and be brief. Strategy funds to do. This project will fund existence expenses. I'm being partially facetious when I write this. I can't because who knows who's going to see it. This project will fund the update, revision, and addition to the Roach Crossing Cockroach Husbandry Guide. Guide as needed. An update for several years, but has not been a priority with the rate of business. Not been a priority with the multitude of other projects and obligations over the course of a week. Information will be updated, more pictures added, and more digital resources referenced. Okay. If sufficient time remains after the cockroach husbandry guide has been finished, the Roach Crossing Isopod husbandry guide work will begin. The Roach Crossing Isopod husbandry guide. Risks and challenges. Let me go over here. Risks and challenges to my project. There are no foreseeable risks or challenges with this project. What could possibly go wrong? Complete your profile. Biography. Cockroach Enthusiasts Store. Providing a diversity of life for research, display, and private collectors. Eastern time zone. Why do I need to add this? Roach Crossing. Websites, www.roachcrossing.com. Review profile. Please don't tell me that by going to view the profile, it just canceled out everything that I just said. Please don't tell me that this site is that janky. It did, didn't it? Nope. Wait. Yep. Yes, it did. All right. I have to remember what words I just said. Should not have clicked the link. Thank you, Kickstarter. It kept the avatar image, though. It's an interesting way I spelled diversity there. Save settings. View profile. Add website. So fascinating. All right, it seems like some things happened in the chat. Put a link to your website for anyone who stumbles upon it and does not know who you are. Did that. Rest in peace. Thank you for the ripped altered pants. Something approximating. Keep all the tiers and everything else. Yes, it kept all the tiers. It's just minor inconvenience there. Vanity URL. Kickstarter.com profile. Roach Crossing. Confirm. All right. Collaborators. Demographics. Cockroach people. Verify your details and link a bank account. The link a bank account. I can't just do this for business. Okay, yeah. Stripe our payment. Bank account linkage. This is hardcore. This is what you do when you get married. Shane says, question for the chat. Anyone else culture have an interest in leeches? I've got 3 species. I don't know if a single other interested party. I think I have some snail leeches actually feeding on the pond snails that I collected at Lake Erie. I think they're leeches. They could be nematodes though, but I know some of those some of the smaller leeches have very interesting morphologies. Boy, let's see. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go link my bank account and hope that there's not a Kickstarter lost the financial information for 7,000 people today. Fell into bad hands. Oh boy. This is a whole other can of worms. Leave page. Pre-launch page. Google Analytics. Metapixel. Exit. Why does it say I'm not done naming my project? Livonia, Michigan. Goal, that much. Target launch date. Okay, next. Exit. Seems like that's what I have to do next. I have to go get all my special information. Hello, Cole. Anybody else who's popped up in the chat? We're currently miring through Kickstarter to get the... thank you for looking for the Vulgari for me. Did you know public license to be given out as gifts of affection in medical Europe? You mean medieval Europe? Yeah, collaborators, demographics. I'm a business. I am in the United States. Prefer not to disclose my demographic information. They don't get to know that I am a proud partial Armenian, partial Eastern Northern European mutt with a Fresno hound that lives with me. They don't get to know that. How long have you been working on the project you are trying to fund with this Kickstarter campaign? Less than 3 months. How many years of experience do you have completed the project that you're trying to fund? I write stuff constantly, so 10 years of experience, I guess that works. 15. Have you already invested money into this project? No. How much of this project's total funding do you expect to collect through this campaign? That's a good question. You guys think I can realistically? I mean, I'm directly asking you because you guys are the people who would probably be helping with this, but I think I'm being realistic. Could be some surprises along the way. So we'll go with all of it. What barriers have you experienced in trying to fund this? None. There are no barriers in trying to fund this project. How long have you been preparing to launch this crowdfunding? Less than 3 months. How many people, including yourself, will help develop and manage your Kickstarter page during the campaign? One. Unless the whole chat wants to count. You guys have been here for it, basically. No consultation. You have a budget for developing and managing your Kickstarter project page? Yes. No. Yes. $0. How confident you will reach your campaign's funding goal? I'm moderately confident. Depending of your campaign's public funding goal. Oh my gosh, this is. I don't even know how to answer that one. I have no other intentions on Kickstarter unless stuff hits the fan. Where do you expect most of your funding will come from? People who previously expressed interest, customers or supporters, fans or followers in social media / online. All right, there we go. If you do not reach your funding goal in Kickstarter, how likely are you to complete this project? I'll complete it eventually. Just a matter of time. Jeez. The questions. This is the longest part, is the interrogation. I just want to write a cockroach care guide. I'm not solving world hunger. I mean, I guess those two things could be related, but not in this particular situation. I haven't raised money on crowdfunding. No, never run a digital marketing campaign. Which of these influence your decision? Just launch a campaign. Discussion on a community forum. This isn't really a forum, but it's a community, so I'll throw it in there. This really gets at your brain cells, my guys. Yes, very important that we discuss this. How you feel about the survey? Very in depth. We'll spin it that way. All right, Kickstarter, are you going to bounce me back to my page, or are you just going to leave me hanging? What a janky interface, let me tell you. Fudge packets. I guess that's it, everybody. I guess that was it. I just gotta figure out where this banking information that I need to get them is. But that's it. I would love to do it on here, but I gotta go dig through my box of very important documents to find the information. So we did it. We started it. I will. Promotion is going to be, I got to get reviewed and all this other stuff. But we did it. That's the meat of it. I don't know what it wants more from me for basic stuff. I did a location. Livonia, Michigan. No video. All this is done. People, edit your Kickstarter profile and collaborators. Don't have any collaborators. This should not be this in depth. At least the payment thing should be straightforward when I find all the information. So yeah, there we are, everybody, and this has taken us almost 2 hours. I guess I did talk about my week before we got into the meat and potatoes of the Kickstarter, but at least an hour and a half, I guess, of Kickstarter madness. So, moving into next week is the Pubic Louse Guild that is back. Moving into next week, Mr. Chris Snyder and Mr. Junior Barbados. You two are the, and Jojo Macro, if you're still here, because you added some things that came in recently, are the last of the auction things currently being processed and finished up. And we knew this would be, at least for Chris and for Junior, we knew this would be a bear. So bear with me. So those should be wrapped up. Chris, I would not be surprised if yours ended up getting pushed to the following week or the end of that week. We are in touch, as you have my number, etc. But next week, live stream, same time, same place. When is the Kickstarter launching? If you said already, I missed it. That's a good question. So I have those parameters in here. Launch is, I should launch it sooner. Try and get through this shortly. Hopefully tonight, but I have laundry and stuff to fold. So I'm just gonna, we're gonna set the launch to the 24th of November. That's what it's saying with the way submit your project for review by November 17th. So it could, I'm going to launch it as soon as I can. I just got to get this payment thing sorted out. So let's be optimistic and say next week that everything will be pushed through and approved. And if not, I guess it's the 24th then. And again, if it is pushed through, obviously I will talk about it on the live stream next week. Next week will be standard Roach Wiggle. I am going to try and get Kim to come on here. Probably wouldn't be next week, probably the following week, and talk about reptiles and some of his invertebrate experience and whatnot. So look forward to that. I kind of like the idea of doing more guest things over closer to the holidays and Christmas time. Actually, crap. So next week is how already? The 24th is Thanksgiving, right? It's the last Thursday in November. Thursday, November 24th. So next week will be last week will be, I didn't know that there were terrestrial leeches in Minnesota. That's very interesting. Next week will be the last live stream until after Thanksgiving. It'll be the last November live stream because then starting December 1st, we're into December. And so I hope I'm going to have to drag Kim into December 1st or December 8th live stream because I'll see him at the expo this weekend. I'll pester him and see if he's in the mood for coming on here. Could happen next Thursday, I guess. But he probably appreciate a little bit more lead time. So anyway, we'll be, by then we're getting into winter, where shipping is going to be stupidly expensive for everything. I have to get more gear. I have to get all my winter shipping gear in and whatnot. But we will survive the winter, and I will, as I do every winter, get on top of everything, or get ahead of everything that I usually need to do, because I don't get to go frolic around outside because I don't want to, or have things to do outside, larger projects. So yeah, and that'll be it then. So thank you everybody for joining me, for joining the chat. Thanks everybody who's here. Full stop. Now that we've gotten through this Kickstarter stuff, and I will see you all next week. May your cultures ever be bountiful, and let's hope this Kickstarter gets pushed through really fast. And the first thing I can say on the live stream next week is we're good to go. So take care, enjoy the last day of decent weather if you're in the Midwest, and I'll see you all next week.